Hello, everyone. I am here today, 24 authors in 12 hours, but a little bit into day two. And I'm here with Rainha Writes, and she is here with us from Lagos, Nigeria. And I wanted to highlight that because what we're doing here, when we're talking about books, when we're talking about the power of the written word, it transcends, it's global. We had authors yesterday. I've had people from Australia, New Zealand, out in the UK. We've had authors from Thailand and in Asia, and I think this is the second time now in 5 years that we've had an author from Africa. So I just want to highlight this. This is a global community, and just so happy to feature Rainha Writes. I'm going to put her work into the comments so that everybody can take a look at it and definitely check it out. And Rainha, I just want you to share this about the power of you and transformation and the work that you've done. So I'm going to turn it over to you to just kind of do some of the sharing.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. When I wrote Your Own Power, it actually came from a place where I was actually seeking validation. I mean, every day of our life, we always want people to tell us, oh, you're beautiful, oh, you're handsome, oh, you're doing a great job, oh, I love the outfit you're wearing. We are always seeking validations every day of our life. And I have come to realize that if you're at that place where you keep on seeking validation from people, you will never grow. Because the first validation you have to have has to come from yourself. If you can't tell yourself you're beautiful, if you can't tell yourself you're handsome, if you can't tell yourself you are doing a great job, then no validation from anyone at all, will actually make you feel better. Because at the end of the day, you realize that there is actually a voice you have within you.
Yeah, you bring up such a great point, Rainha, about this power coming from within. And if you don't like you, it is so hard in that space. Can you share how you got inspired to start doing this writing?
Okay, growing up, I was the only child of my parents, and although we weren't really much well off, but I realized that I was always jealous of other what other kids have. They had good clothes, they had comfortable living. And at this point, I told myself, I think I need to be contented with who I am. I do not no longer need to seek validations from, okay, I have to keep on looking myself in the mirror, the kind of clothes I wear, or the kind of shoes I wear, or the kind of bags I carry around. Of course, I didn't want to live that kind of life because it was tiring, because I realized in the long run that it was really exhausting. It was really exhausting. And looking at myself and my height, I remember growing up in high school, and there's always this funny name people call me. They always call me the short queen. But at that point, I realized that if I let my statue, define me, if I let my heart define me, then I wouldn't go far. And at that point, that was when I decided to embrace myself just the way I am and tell myself I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am smart, and it doesn't matter my body structure. It doesn't matter, who I am, but that is me. That is who I am, and I have to be comfortable in my own clothes.
I think it's so important that you shared something that's very universal, right? Like it does not matter where you are in the world. This concept that you have to find the internal validation. You have to go into that place where you find I am beautiful, I am worthy. And I love the term beautiful, not in the sense of your physical appearance, which, finding yourself attractive is good, but finding that internal beauty, finding that you have beauty in your soul. And so many of the themes yesterday from the different authors really sort of came out. I want you to hit on this. And what I will say is you're coming up just a little bit, like I'm not sure if it's an echo but sometimes it's a little bit hard to hear you, but I do want to make sure that your voice is heard. And I want to go a little bit deeper into, was there like a moment in your life that you decided to write this, or was it sort of a accumulation?
Please, please.
I cannot hear you at all now, unfortunately. Raina, are you still with us?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, please, could you repeat the question again?
Sure. For your writing, was it any particular one moment that inspired you to start writing, or was it sort of accumulation of all those things?
Yeah, what actually inspired me writing was because I have come across different people, my friends. I have seen people, especially young adults, within my environment, how they always love seeking validations. They always love, and I love when people tell them they're beautiful. And I see how much effort they put into trying to become beautiful, especially the ladies around me, the young ladies around me. I see how much effort they try to buy clothes, things way beyond their means, just so someone can tell them, oh, they are beautiful, oh, they are handsome, oh, they are doing well for themselves. And I realized, no, if I could come out of my own shell, if I could love myself just the way I am, then I think I have a message to actually take out there to the world, to tell people that absolutely they can love themselves just the way they are, and they do not need to compare themselves with any other person, and that they are unique in their own way.
Thank you so much. And by the way, you're coming in so much clearer, so really appreciate that. I want to talk a little bit about, you have this amazing message and you have the ability to share this now with the world, right? The entire world. So, what message would you like to share? What do you want them to take away from your writings?
Okay, one message I would love to take to give to the audience today is one point from my book, Your Own Power, is you are enough just the way you are. You are enough just the way you are. You do not need to compare yourself with the next person. You don't need to compare yourself with the next family. You don't need to compare your situation with the next person, because you are unique in your own right, in your own way, and you do not need anyone to tell you that, because at the end of the day, we are all individual truth bodies. So I just want everyone to love themselves. Give, especially this the month of February, it's the month of love. What better way than actually to treat yourself out and love yourself more?
That's a really important point and a good transition. I want to just share a moment to anybody who is listening. The work that we do here at 24 Authors in 12 Hours is really about empowering authors and sharing the messages. And so I want to put in here, we have a donation link as well as a way to purchase our merchandise. And the work that we do, we don't get paid for this, right? Like, we are doing this because we believe in making sure that writers, authors around the world are heard. And next month, or this month now, February, the month of love. I love that concept. February 14th is going to be our next show. We are featuring romance, romantasy, poetry, rom-com, any of those authors. If you are looking for a platform, if you are looking for a way to share, this is a 30-minute interview for you to come share your books, share your stories, share the messages behind the books so that we can get that word out. So if you do have the ability, if you don't, that's okay. I mean, we're not asking anybody to ever give more than they can. And on that, I want to turn it back to Rainha. And Rainha, could you talk a little bit? You touched on this earlier. People overextending themselves, people who are going into debt, people who are just spending too much. What is your advice to the people who are spending on things instead of spending on their souls?
Okay, my advice to people who keep on spending on material things, because I'll put it that way, because the clothes, the shoes, the wanting to look good, the makeup, they are all material things, and that is not who you are. Because when you go back home and you undress, you remove the clothes, you remove the makeup, you remove the bags and everything, you adjust yourself. When you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see? You do not see the makeup, you don't see the clothes, you see just yourself. So when you keep on spending money just to look good, just for others to give you that validation that, oh yes, you're beautiful, at the end of the day, you will find out that you end up becoming really empty. There is this void within you that you're trying to fill. So please, my advice is love yourself just the way you are. Wear the clothes you have and feel comfortable in them, no matter how least expensive you feel they are. Wear the shoes you have and feel comfortable in them, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be forever. At some point in your life, you are going to upgrade. You're going to live a life that you can afford. You're going to live a life that is comfortable enough. So you don't need to live beyond your means. Live right within your means. That's my advice to them.
So, Raina, I'm here in the United States. You're over there in Nigeria, a beautiful country. And we were talking before the show, and I was saying how I actually had the privilege to have traveled to Nigeria. Not the same city, but still, um, the ability to travel, the ability for humans to be connected is so important. What is your advice to people in the sense of how are we all connected? Because people might think, oh, these are very different places, but the things that you're talking about, they're fundamental and they transcend the globe. So, just any thoughts on that?
Okay. When I wrote my book, I didn't just write my book for the Nigerian audience alone. Absolutely not. I didn't, because personally, I'm a mental health advocate and a person development coach.
So I think that that's an important point. This point of mental health came up a lot yesterday. If anybody was able to listen to the interview, or you can always listen to the recording of Sheldon Stovall yesterday, who talked about this whole importance of mental health. We also had a few different coaches on yesterday, really just kind of talk about this need. Sparkle Lindsay did a wonderful job of highlighting that. So can you talk a little bit about how your coaching business and how your book come together? Everyone, my apologies as we're waiting for Raina to come back. As you can see, there is a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think so worth it to have somebody here from Nigeria getting her message out, able to share with the world. So I'm going to take a minute. My books are still available for Kindle download. If you can just do me the favor of downloading my books, taking a quick perusal through them, that would just be greatly appreciated, and would mean a lot to me. The thing that really matters to authors when we publish on Amazon is getting those stars, right? So anything that you can do, and I'm waiting for Raina to come back online. We are messaging behind the scenes. She is in an area in Lagos in Nigeria, so it can be difficult for the communications. So hopefully she can make it back into the studio, and we can go ahead and share more of Raina's work and Raina's story. And so as I'm waiting for that, I'm putting these links in here. We have links in here for the 24 authors in 12 hours. And I want to just talk about Raina's work for a little minute, and what I can do while we're waiting for her to see if she's able to come back into the studio is share her page. And so let me go ahead and do that. And Raina is trying to connect. So this is Raina's work right here, and you are your own power, 8 transformative affirmations for self-confidence and self-security. This is from Rainha Writes. I put the link in the chat, and it's $3, right? So please, if you are able at all, support Raina, support her ebook. Getting the word out from Nigeria is just so important. So I just want to emphasize that this would just be something pretty tremendous. I'll do another write-up on Raina and make sure that we're sharing this, because it is so important that we're supporting authors, not just in the United States or the Anglo countries we typically have representation from, but representatives from around the world. And so having Raina here from Nigeria, and if you're in a country or if you're in a place where maybe it is hard to get the word out to the global community, come contact us at 24 Authors in 12 Hours, and we definitely want to make sure that we're sharing your work, that we're getting your voice heard. Raina, I can see that you've rejoined. Are you able to hear me? Raina is showing that your mic is muted. If you can unmute, we might be able to hear you at least. Well, unfortunately, it does not appear that we're getting Raina back. And I do want to just share her work, though. You are your own power. And this powerful message, it does not matter if you're in Nigeria, if you were in Timbuktu, it does not matter where you are. This message of being positive, this message that you can have those self affirmations of not overspending, of loving yourself, this transcends the globe. And so, once again, if you can support Raina's work, I think that there's a beautiful message there. Unfortunately, it does appear she's not coming back in. If I'm able to get her back in, we'll probably do a few more minutes. So I do want to thank everyone. I'm going to end the stream now. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and please join us February 14th for our next show.